When the dumpster pulled up, my immediate thought was, oh boy, I don't think that's big enough. We talked about the dumpster size for several weeks, and in the end, we ended up getting a 15-yard dumpster. But we quickly learned by the end of the weekend 15 yards was not big enough. Our first lesson learned, always go bigger. That was really close. I didn't mean for it to be that close. And I'm not good at correcting people like that. Hopefully Donnie's not mad.
What? I got a nail on my foot already.
All the way to your foot?
We'll find out in a second.
Did you get a tetanus shot that last time like I did? I guess we're going there on our way home. Good morning.
Morning.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Why didn't you have your work boots on?
It does. Alright, back to it.
Before we get started on the inside, we wanted to go through the garage and see what's in there, see if there's anything that we could salvage or sell. Ow. It hurts. It didn't take us very long before we realized we should probably slow down with the garage clean out because the dumpster is half full. Oh my god, that is a effing spider. Holy, where did it go? I'm not putting that in the truck.
Put it right here.
Holy cow. I'm not putting my hands like in there.
In where? In that bag?
Holy, it was huge.
I think I just saw it.
Probably one of the biggest cleanup jobs we're going to have to do in this house is the master bedroom. A little bit of backstory. The house was empty for 9 or 10 months, and in that time, the fascia board on the side of the house where the master bedroom is rotted, and possum, squirrels, Donnie saw lots of evidence of both, took up residence in the attic over the master bedroom. Over time, water got in there and the ceiling gave way. At some point, a possum found his way into the master bedroom and got trapped. We don't really know how long the fascia was rotten, but we can guess that it was quite a while. As Donnie was working his way to the corner of the room, he noticed he could start to see daylight. Not a big expense, but it's definitely something that needs to be handled sooner rather than later. Once Donnie was done pulling down the ceiling, I convinced him to take a water break.
I accidentally broke the GoPro stand.
The stand or the GoPro?
The stand. The one that wraps around like a cloth. It completely broke it off.
Not the stand that was in this house.
No. The little GoPro tripod thing. So now you gotta switch to something else.
So how far does the mold stretch?
It's just in the front of the eave by the time. And even there's part of the eaves where it wasn't. It was like where those holes were. Just where those big holes in the end of the eaves were.
So there is mold on the rafters.
I don't think so. Maybe. But it's just from the water sitting there. We just have to, I think Abby said we just gotta clean it, special clean it with some kind of cleaner and then put a sealer on it. So, yeah. As soon as I pulled the first piece of paneling off, you could see that there was mold in the seam where the two.
Abby must be, her ears must be itching because she just Snapchatted.
Where the two pieces of paneling meet, there's mold all behind that, and then mold all the way at the top where the bad spots in the eaves were. I don't know, once we get around the side walls, there might not be any mold. It might just be on that one exterior wall. So we'll see. It looks good. It's just like I said, just those two spots where there was holes in the eaves and the critters were living in there. And one hell of a nest.
You saw it?
Yeah.
You want me to get you a water?
Something, yeah.
Show me the nest. How big it was.
It's probably at least this big inside the rafter.
So that possum was living up there? Like that was...
Could have been squirrels too. Somebody, yeah, it could have been squirrels and possums because I found a piece of a squirrel's tail about this long.
Shut up.
I don't know if he shed part of his tail or what.
They don't shed tail. They don't shed tails, do they?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Our oldest daughter, Abby, is an operations manager for a restoration company. They specialize in cleanup after a fire or water damage. We've been relying a lot on her knowledge and expertise when it comes to cleaning up this room. We were fortunate enough to have access to dehumidifiers and air movers to get this room dried up. Not only that, but the chemicals needed to treat the solid surfaces so that the room will be safe. A lot of the surfaces on the outside wall, the wall that Donnie's working on currently, is where most of the mold damage is. On the interior wall, on the inside, all that paneling and the drywall behind it looked clean. But we're not in the business of taking chances, so erring on the side of caution, we pulled the room down to the studs. The only thing that currently remains in the room is the insulation. And being that we are about 30 miles south of Chicago, winters can be pretty cold here. So until we are ready to put up new insulation, we're going to keep the old insulation in, just to keep the house warm. Before we even closed on the house, Donnie was able to come over and patch the eave where all the water was coming in. So the last thing to really do to get this room all sealed up is to repair the newly discovered gaps between the house and the addition. But we're running out of daylight, so the repair is going to have to wait till morning.
Use your hammer.
My hammer?
Yeah.
I have my own hammer. I set an alarm for 45 minutes. That's when the Bears game starts.
10/16 by 8.
This has mold on it. This is mold.
Well, we're getting rid of it, but
I know, but I'm wondering if we should put our mask back on. Don't disrupt it.
I don't think it's mold.
I think it's mold.
This is what happens when you don't bring the right tools with you to the house to work on. So when you're working on a house, you need a whole set of tools, not just what's laying around.
You should probably start bringing your work truck.
Probably be a good idea.
Huh?
Probably be a good idea. I have most of my stuff done. I would have been done with this 20 months ago. I brought a pair of tin snips. Here's what they're supposed to look like. And there's what they looked like after the end of the day yesterday. I'm just going to show you what we're doing to try to keep critters from getting in here again.
but also, right?
And then we're going to try to seal it up on the outside. So we put wire mesh in there. Keep any critters from getting in there.
Taking all the drywall out and paneling out of this room was more of a necessity, but an active conversation that Donnie and I have been having is how much of the plasterboard and drywall and the rest of the house do we actually remove?
That seems sketchy.
Seems pretty sketchy.
It's pretty sketchy, Donnie.
Not going to do it.
I'm glad you're being smart.
It takes a certain skill set to patch plaster,
Mm-hmm.
and neither one of us have that. Some might say that the walls in the living room and in the bedrooms have character. I say that they're old and need to be removed. I like nice, even, flat walls. It won't be a budget buster if we replace all the walls, but it's definitely going to be a big expense if we go that route. So here's my question for you. Would you prefer clean, newly finished walls, or are you okay with plasterboard walls that have a little bit of character? Be on the lookout for next week's episode because we're tearing out the kitchen. If you watched the first episode, you might be surprised because the fridge might have found a new home. If you've made it this far, we thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and follow. Happy Thanksgiving.